Welcome, seekers of truth, to Behind Behavior. Tonight, we embark on a journey into the most elusive corners of the human mind, a place where clarity should reside, yet often remains shrouded in an invisible fog, a place where the obvious, the undeniable, slips through our grasp like smoke. Have you ever felt it? That unsettling sensation, looking back on a moment, a decision, an interaction, and realize with a jolt, how did I not see that? It was right there, staring me in the face. It's a common refrain, a universal experience, yet its roots run far deeper than simple oversight. It speaks to a profound psychological phenomenon, a subtle yet powerful barrier that stands between us and the undeniable truths of our existence. Tonight, we're going to pull back the curtain on this hidden force, this invisible hand that guides our perception, often leading us astray from the very things we need to see most. We'll uncover why we ignore the obvious, how the psychological blind spot operates, and most importantly, how you can reclaim your vision, sharpen your insight, and finally see what has always been there, waiting to be acknowledged. If you're ready to dismantle the invisible barriers within your mind and unlock a new level of self-awareness, then lean in close. This is where your breakthrough begins. And as we delve into these hidden patterns, remember to hit that subscribe button and join our growing community dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of the mind. Your journey into deeper understanding starts now. Imagine, for a moment, a detective, not from a thrilling novel, but from your own life. This detective is tasked with solving a puzzle, a seemingly complex mystery. All the clues are present, scattered around the scene. Some are glaringly apparent. A dropped wallet, a distinctive footprint, a note left in plain sight. Yet our detective, despite their keen intellect and years of training, consistently overlooks these crucial pieces of evidence. Instead, they chase down obscure leads, construct elaborate theories, and become entangled in periphery, all while the heart of the matter lies undiscovered, mocking them with its blatant presence. This isn't a failure of intelligence. It's a failure of perception. It's the insidious grip of the spotlight effect, not in its commonly understood social anxiety context, but as a broader metaphor for our internal attentional biases. We believe we are the center of attention, not just in the eyes of others, but in the grand narrative of our own lives. And this belief distorts our focus, blinding us to the very information that could illuminate our path. Consider the classic psychological experiment, in which participants are asked to count the number of passes between players in a basketball game. While engrossed in this focus task, a person in a gorilla suit walks directly through the game, stops, beats their chest, and walks off. A significant percentage of participants completely fail to see the gorilla. It's not that their eyes didn't register it. It's that their brain, intensely focused on a specific task, filtered out the obvious anomaly. This is attentional blindness in action, a powerful demonstration of how our focus creates blind spots. But the spotlight effect, in the context of ignoring the obvious, goes deeper. It's about a self-centered bias in our mental processing, a tendency to overestimate the extent to which our own thoughts, feelings, and actions are noticed by others, yes, but also, crucially, how much they should be the primary focus of our own internal attention. This internal spotlight, shining brightly on our own internal narrative, often casts long shadows over external realities, over the subtle cues from others, over the objective data that contradicts our preferred story. This isn't about blaming ourselves. It's about understanding the intricate machinery of our minds. Our brains are magnificent pattern-matching machines, constantly seeking efficiency. To cope with the overwhelming deluge of sensory information, they employ mental shortcuts, heuristics, and filters. These are usually adaptive, helping us navigate a complex world. But sometimes these very mechanisms become our undoing, leading us to miss critical information that doesn't fit neatly into our pre-existing mental models or our self-focused narratives. The obvious becomes invisible because it doesn't align with what our internal spotlight is illuminating. Let's delve into some of the primary psychological mechanisms behind this phenomenon. First, there's confirmation bias. This is a tendency to seek, interpret, favor, and recall information that confirms pre-existing beliefs. If you believe your boss is unfairly critical, you'll readily notice and remember every instance where they give you constructive feedback, interpreting it as criticism, while overlooking praise or positive interactions. The obvious truth that your boss might simply be trying to help you improve gets obscured by your pre-existing narrative. The spotlight is on my boss is against me, and everything else is filtered out. Then we have inattentional blindness, as demonstrated by the gorilla experiment. When attention is intensely directed toward one aspect, we become blind to other stimuli. Think about how often we're so focused on our own internal monologue, worry about a presentation, replaying an argument, planning our next move, that we miss subtle shifts in a loved one's body language, a crucial detail in conversation, or a blatant warning sign in a situation. Our internal spotlight is so intensely focused on our mental narrative that the obvious external world fades into the background. Another powerful force at play is cognitive dissonance. This is the mental discomfort experienced by a person who holds contradictory beliefs. When faced with information that contradicts our core beliefs or actions, our minds often engage in elaborate mental gymnastics to reduce this discomfort. We might rationalize, dismiss, or simply ignore the conflicting evidence, even if it's glaringly obvious. For example, someone deeply invested in particular political ideology might ignore overwhelming evidence of corruption within their chosen party, simply because acknowledging it would create immense cognitive dissonance. The obvious truth is too painful, too disruptive to their self-concept or worldview, so it is actively, if unconsciously, ignored. The spotlight is on maintaining internal consistency, even at the cost of external reality. The narrative fallacy also plays a significant role. Our minds crave stories, explanations, and coherent narratives. When faced with randomness or incomplete information, we instinctively weave narratives to make sense of the world. This can lead us to connect dots that aren't there, or conversely, to ignore obvious dots that don't fit into our preferred story. For instance, an entrepreneur might cling to a failing business model because it aligns with their vision or passion narrative, ignoring obvious market signals or financial data that scream for a change in direction. The obvious truth is sacrificed at the altar of a compelling, albeit false, story. Their internal spotlight is fixed on the heroic narrative of their own journey, not the objective data. This could be a recurring meeting, a conversation with a family member, or even your morning commute. Before you engage in these situations, take a deliberate, conscious pause. For just 30 seconds, shift your internal spotlight. Instead of focusing on what you're going to say, what you're going to do, or how others perceive you, consciously direct your attention outward. During a meeting, instead of formulating your next point, observe the body language of others. Notice who speaks first, who defers, who fidgets. What is the unspoken subtext? What obvious truths about group dynamics or individual anxieties are being broadcast but typically ignored? During a conversation, instead of planning your response, truly listen, not just to the words, but to the tone, the hesitations, the unspoken emotions. What obvious feelings or needs are being communicated indirectly? What are they not saying that is just as important as what they are? During your commute, instead of being lost in thought, observe your surroundings with fresh eyes. Notice the details you usually blur out, the intricate architecture, the expressions on people's faces, the rhythm of the city. What obvious beauty or struggle usually goes unseen. The goal here isn't to judge or to act immediately, but simply to observe, to consciously shift your attentional spotlight from your internal narrative to the external reality. This seemingly simple act is profoundly powerful. It begins to weaken the grip of your default biases and allows the obvious to emerge from the shadows. As you practice the observer's pause, you'll start to notice patterns. You'll begin to see the subtle cues, the consistent behaviors, the undeniable facts that were always present but filtered out. This brings us to the next step, challenging your assumptions. Our minds are lazy in the best possible way. They prefer to operate on pre-established assumptions. These assumptions are often the very blinders that prevent us from seeing the obvious. When you encounter a situation or a piece of information that seems to contradict your pre-existing beliefs, instead of dismissing it, as cognitive dissonance would urge you to do, pause and ask yourself, what if my current assumption is wrong? This isn't about abandoning your beliefs entirely, but about creating space for alternative interpretations. It's about consciously turning your internal spotlight onto the very assumptions you hold most dear. For example, If you assume a colleague is lazy because they often miss deadlines, and then you observe them working late on a project unrelated to yours, instead of dismissing it as an anomaly, challenge your assumption. Ask, what if they're not lazy but overwhelmed? What if their priorities are simply different? Or they're struggling with something I don't see? This questioning opens a door to obvious truths that were previously hidden by your initial judgment. Another powerful tool is seeking disconfirming evidence. This is the antidote to confirmation bias. Instead of only looking for information that supports what you already believe, actively seek out information that challenges it. This requires courage, as it means willingly exposing yourself to ideas that might make you uncomfortable. If you're convinced a particular business strategy is the best path forward, don't just consume articles and data that support it. Actively seek out critiques, case studies of failures, and perspectives from those who advocate for alternative approaches. What obvious flaws or opportunities might you be overlooking because you're only shining your spotlight on reinforcing data? In personal relationships, if you're convinced a certain dynamic is unhealthy, don't just replay instances that confirm your belief. Consciously look for moments of connection, kindness, or positive intent. What obvious efforts are being made that you've been filtering out? This isn't about deluding yourself. It's about gaining a more complete, nuanced picture, allowing a full spectrum of obvious truths to emerge. This journey of seeing the obvious isn't always comfortable. Sometimes, the obvious truths we uncover are inconvenient, challenging, or even painful. They might force us to confront our own biases, our own shortcomings, or the uncomfortable realities of our relationships and circumstances. This is where true emotional intelligence comes into play. It requires radical acceptance. Radical acceptance is the ability to accept life and its circumstances on their own terms, without judgment or resistance. It means acknowledging the obvious, even when it's not what you want to hear, see, or feel. If the obvious truth is that a project you've poured your heart into is failing, radical acceptance means acknowledging that failure, rather than clinging to false hope or blaming external factors. If the obvious truth is that a relationship has run its course, radical acceptance means acknowledging that end, rather than forcing it to continue. This doesn't mean you like the truth or that you approve of it. It simply means you stop fighting against it. You stop investing energy in denying what is unequivocally present. When you radically accept the obvious, you free up immense mental and emotional energy that was previously consumed by resistance and denial. This energy can then be channeled into constructive action, into finding solutions, or into moving forward with clarity and purpose. The internal spotlight is then free to illuminate pathways forward, rather than being fixated on what you wish were true. The spotlight effect, in its broader manifestation, often makes us believe that our internal world is the only world that matters, or that our subjective experience is objective reality. This leads to a pervasive sense of isolation, a feeling that others don't truly understand us, or that our problems are uniquely complex. But when we train ourselves to see the obvious needs of others, the obvious patterns in our environment, the obvious objective data, we begin to transcend the self-imposed isolation. We connect more deeply, we make more informed decisions, and we navigate the world with newfound clarity. Let's consolidate these steps into a progressive framework, a pathway for your personal development. Step 1. Cultivate the observer's pause. Integrate this practice daily. Choose specific, recurring situations and consciously shift your attention outward. Observe without judgment. Notice the details, the nonverbal cues, the unspoken realities that usually go unnoticed. This is about training your attentional muscles to broaden their scope, to dim the self-focused spotlight just enough to let other light in. Step 2. Actively challenge your assumptions. When you encounter information or situations that feel off or contradictory, make it a habit to question your initial interpretation. Ask, what if I'm wrong? What else could this mean? This creates mental flexibility and opens the door to new perspectives, allowing the obvious to reveal itself. Step 3. Seek disconfirming evidence. Deliberately expose yourself to ideas, data, and perspectives that challenge your existing beliefs. This is not about being indecisive. It's about rigorously testing your understanding against the full spectrum of reality. What truths are you actively avoiding because they threaten your current worldview? Bring them into the light of your attention. Step 4. Practice radical acceptance. When the obvious, however inconvenient or painful, presents itself, choose to accept it. This doesn't mean resigning yourself to it, but acknowledging its existence without fighting against it. This is a foundation for genuinely moving forward. Acceptance is a fertile ground from which new, constructive action can grow. Step 5. Embrace the power of beginner's mind. This concept, originating from Zen Buddhism, encourages us to approach every situation with openness, eagerness, and a lack of preconceptions, even when studying a subject we are already familiar with. Imagine yourself as someone completely new to a situation, free from all your past experiences and biases. What would they see? What obvious truths would jump out at them? This fresh perspective can bypass years of ingrained filtering and reveal the glaringly apparent. For example, if you've been in a relationship for years, try to view your partner as if you just met them. What are their habits, their expressions, their needs that are obvious to a stranger but have become invisible to you through familiarity? This exercise can be incredibly illuminating. This isn't about achieving a state of perfect, unbiased perception overnight. That's an impossible ideal. It's about a continuous, conscious effort to refine your internal filters, to expand your awareness, and to develop a deeper, more profound connection with reality. The more you practice these steps, the more fluid and natural they will become. You will begin to notice how your mind works, how it constructs narratives, how it filters information. This meta-awareness, this understanding of your own cognitive processes, is the ultimate key to unlocking your full potential. The ability to see the obvious is not a superpower. It is a fundamental human capacity that has been obscured by the complexities of modern life and the ingrained habits of our minds. By consciously engaging in these practices, you are not just seeing more, you are becoming more. You are developing a richer, more nuanced understanding of yourself, of others, and of the world around you. You are moving beyond the surface, beyond the superficial, and into profound depths of true insight. Think of the consequences of consistently ignoring the obvious. In relationships, it leads to misunderstandings, resentment, and eventual breakdown. In careers, it leads to missed opportunities, poor decisions, and stagnation. In personal growth, it leads to repeating the same mistakes, remaining stuck in cycles of self-sabotage, and never truly reaching your potential. The cost of not seeing the obvious is immense, a silent tax on your happiness, your success, and your peace of mind. But the rewards of cultivating this clarity are equally vast. Imagine navigating your life with sharper intuition, making decisions based on truth rather than assumption, understanding others with genuine empathy, and recognizing opportunities that others miss. This is not some abstract philosophical ideal. It is a tangible, achievable reality when you commit to this internal work. So, I challenge you, starting tonight, to begin this journey. Choose one small area of your life where you suspect you might be overlooking something fundamental. Perhaps it's a recurring conflict with a friend, a persistent challenge at work, or an internal struggle you can't quite pinpoint. Apply the observer's pause. Challenge your assumptions. Seek out disconfirming evidence. And when the truth, however uncomfortable, reveals itself, practice radical acceptance. This is not just about seeing the gorilla in the experiment. It's about seeing the intricate tapestry of cause and effect, the subtle dance of human interaction, the quiet whispers of your own intuition. It's about peeling back the layers of illusion and stepping into a world of undeniable clarity. The obvious isn't hiding from you. You've simply been looking the wrong direction, or with a spotlight too narrowly focused. It's time to widen your beam, to expand your vision, and to truly see. Your mind is a powerful instrument, capable of extraordinary insight. Don't let unconscious biases dim its brilliance. Reclaim your perception, uncover the patterns, and step into a life where the obvious is no longer a mystery, but a guide. If this exploration has resonated with you, if you feel that spark of recognition, then you are ready for the next step in your personal evolution. Don't let this insight fade into the background. Take action now. Hit that subscribe button. Join our community of truth seekers and turn on notifications so you never miss another profound insight from behind the behavior. Share this video with someone who might benefit from seeing the world with new eyes. And remember, the journey to self-mastery is a continuous one, filled with hidden patterns and profound discoveries. Keep watching, keep learning, and keep growing. The obvious is waiting for you to see it.